We've all heard of England's White Cliffs of Dover, and here is the French counterpart.
The steep chalk cliffs, though, are only one aspect of the area's geography.
Travel inland and it flattens to a patchwork of tree-lined fields where cows graze, flax, corn, and wheat are grown, and apples and pear trees thrive. The magnificent scenery and the exquisite light is so unique that the Impressionist painters made it a point to paint here.
Welcome to Normandy, France.
100 Days Drinks, Dishes, and Destinations is brought to you by...
With AMA Waterways, guests can climb, pedal, and journey beyond the beaten path while cruising on storied rivers across Europe. You can find out more at amawaterways.com.
When I picture my dad, Josh, I remember his hands. Strong, they were worn, stained. That was years of hard working as a lumberjack. His commitment, work ethic, values, that's what really inspired me to create Josh Cellars.
Otherworldly and down to earth. Visit Napa Valley.
Come with me to stamp your passport to delicious. I'm drinks and culinary expert Leslie Sbrocco, and I'm traveling, tasting, sipping, and savoring the world to share my bucket list of palate-pleasing experiences on 100 Days, Drinks, Dishes, and Destinations. Normandy is a large department in western France with its coastline on the English Channel. Normandy is divided into 5 departments, and we're visiting 2, Seine-Maritime and Calvados.
I'm standing in the center of the capital of Normandy, Rouen. Vikings settled here. Richard the Lionheart was crowned Duke of Normandy, and his body is buried in the cathedral. Visitors beginning their journey into Normandy often start in Rouen. You can arrive here by boat, by train, or by car. It's just a few hours from Paris. This is La Couronne. It's the oldest inn in France, and it dates to 1345. It's said that the windows were illuminated with the flames of Joan of Arc, who was burned right over here at the stake in 1431. This is where Julia Child had a French meal that changed the direction of her life and influenced so many of us American food lovers. Merci, Julia. To get an insider's look at the gastronomic and scenic treasures of Normandy, I have just the guide, a resident of 37 years who just happens to be my sister. Hi.
So good to see you.
You've brought with you the Californian sky and sun.
I brought you the nice weather. You did. Oh, it looks beautiful. The house looks beautiful. I'm so happy to be here.
Lisa and David, her husband, bought this place nearly 30 years ago when it was in really bad shape. They've lovingly restored it, along with raising 5 children, to make it a comfortable home. And just like almost everyone in the French countryside, they grow vegetables, along with raspberries and strawberries.
Okay, let's go get the eggs.
And raise chickens for fresh eggs. Lisa loves to cook, it does run in the family, and her kitchen really is the heart of this home. It's always a treat to visit. David was born and raised in Normandy and revels in sharing stories of the history of this land. He says that there are 4 C's of Normandy: cows, Camembert, cider, and Calvados, or apple brandy. And I'm getting up early to start with the cows.
Wake up, rise and shine. It's milking time.
Just minutes from Lisa's house is great cheese, true Norman Camembert, made on the farm of 5 frères, or 5 brothers. Today I'm visiting just 3 of them, along with Dad, and lots of highly coiffed cows eating rich green grass.
So you have the more ripe layer here and creamy on the inside?
Yes.
So a month it's been aged. There's an earthiness and sort of a grassiness to it as well, but then it's rich and ripe and kind of coats your palate with the creaminess.
Very good.
Excellent. And this is the taste of Normandy. Camembert and cider.
You like it?
Makes me happy.
That was a delicious breakfast, but for more happiness, we head just down the lane to Clos de Sinto, where they make one of Lisa's favorite ciders. And who better to greet us than Charlotte, the resident donkey? She loves apples too.
Vraiment style normand, style
Okay.
ancien. Voilà.
So it's a true Norman house from 17...
400 plus years old.
Yeah. So to make cider, the basic 4 kinds of apples are sweet, bitter, bittersweet, and acidic. It's not
An exact science.
an exact science.
But much like wine, if you're going to make a blend of a certain type of wine, you're looking for a variety of flavors that each apple can give you, and then you're making your choice of what the ultimate style will be.
Dans ces 1000 variétés, il n'y en a que 200 qui sont utilisées couramment.
There are 1,000 varieties of cider apples, but they only use about 200. And they come from all over Europe. Wow.
So this is what's used for rosé cider. The flesh is red in the Geneva, a Belgian apple. It's acid. It's acid.
This one is French, but a very old French variety.
Antoinette.
Antoinette.
Oh, it's young, so it's not quite ripe yet. But that's quite sweet. I would eat that.
These apples have been picked just to show us the names of the apples and the colors of the apples, but at maturity they'll be much bigger.
And these are not varieties for eating. These are varieties only for cider.
You can mix, but in general it's mainly the varieties that they use for cider. Cider is the juice that is fermented to a certain level of alcohol, between 3 and 6%. To make Calvados, then you use this same juice and you continue to let it ferment, and then until there's no sugar left. Then it's distilled
That's what's
to make the
distilled.
alcohol.
And then pommeau is something in the middle, really.
Pommeau is the fresh juice of the apples, which has not yet been fermented, that you mix with the Calvados.
So eau de vie de cidre is essentially the same as Calvados. It's apple brandy. Now that,
smell
to
the
me, is
apple.
apple. It smells like buttered rum. You know, doesn't it?
It's fruitier than rum.
And it's called eau de vie de cidre because we're not in the Calvados appellation, but it's the same, le même,
Oui.
de Calvados.
Le même.
This is just back to the straight stuff. This is the juice.
Yeah.
Like the best apple juice you've ever tried, right? Merci.
Merci. Thank you so much. Santé.
And now we're off to the White House. No, not the one in D.C. This one dates back 600 years and is in the Normandy hamlet of Villequier on the banks of the Seine. It's where Francois Xavier lives.
Bonjour.
Lisa, et puis Leslie Sbrocco.
Honor to meet you.
This is a beautiful.
Isn't this? Look at this.
So this is our family house. This is castle have been built by Charles VII for his girlfriend, in fact.
So the royal girlfriend got a beautiful castle here.
Yeah. And maybe he come
500
to this
years
place.
ago.
We don't know.
That's right.
So, and this is Robert. We don't know exactly his story.
This is Robert.
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 I think he drinks so much cider or Calvados, maybe.
Well, I think this is his cider drinking hand, and that maybe is his Calvados drinking hand.
He loses a hand.
He lost the hand. Hello, Robert. Enchanté.
Oui, regarde.
Francois Xavier is a young farmer focused on sustainability. He's reviving many of the old traditions. He grows flax and hay, makes mustard, and most notably, he raises very happy cows. They get to indulge in his homemade cider, lots of it, which produces incredibly tender beef.
In this place, we stock the cider, the apple juice. We want to millésime cider such as champagne or wine. So we make ice cider and we mix ice cider with natural cider. We are sure.
So it's apple cider
Yeah.
with an influence from the champagne process.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
Merci.
This is not very clarified, very.
It's a bit cloudy.
Yeah, right. Because it's unfiltered.
Yeah.
Yes. Not only is this thirst quenching, you can drink a lot of it because it's 4% alcohol.
It's excellent.
I would call this, you know, on the dryish side of the scale even. There's sweetness from the fruit, but it's certainly not sweet. You wouldn't say it's super sweet.
No, it's not sugary.
No.
It's not sugary, but it's fruity. You can really taste the fruit. It's like eating, crunching into
A sweeter apple.
an apple.
A sweet apple, dipped in a little caramel
Excellent.
sauce.
Excellent.
Now that we've covered 3 of the 4 C's, we're off to Honfleur, on the other side of the River Seine in the department or county of Calvados.
Honfleur is everything you imagine a Norman town to be.
It's a small port at the mouth of the Seine with fishing boats and yachts, Norman architecture and narrow streets. This is where Samuel de Champlain, the explorer who founded Quebec, sailed from. And it's the birthplace in 1866 of famed composer Eric Satie. Today there are shops and art galleries and plenty of restaurants serving poisson, that's fish, lots of poisson.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Alors, il y a des huîtres d'Isigny, des petites, et les
And these are
huîtres
bigger?
pleine mer. Which one would you say is better?
Oh, it's very different. Très salé,
Very salty?
Very salty,
plutôt douce.
a little sweeter.
So why don't we try 6 of each of these?
6 and 6?
Yes, 6 and 6.
Okay. Let's get a shrimp plate too.
Yeah.
Okay. Look
What
at
are these?
What are these?
Velours cuit.
Willow Creek.
Which is sea
Sea
snails.
snails. Kind of a sea snail. These are there any local shrimp?
Bretagne.
Oh, from Brittany.
Can you
Yeah.
do langoustine?
We can have a couple.
Can we
just
have a few of
tasting.
these and a couple of these and some langoustine?
Isn't it pretty, eh?
That's
Very
so pretty.
Oh, thank you very much. Looks beautiful.
And bigger.
You know, a little bit of vinegar mixed with shallots. And then very simply,
Can you believe this is 10 euros for this plate plus wine?
Plus wine. That's so
wine.
cheap. Well, because it's
Because it's local.
It's local. It's from here.
so it's true what she said, you know, the tiny one from pleine mer are softer.
And they're a little
Those
soft
are more salty.
and briny. It's a really briny character.
Salty. It's good, they're good.
All right.
Look at this. I want you to eat one of these for Leslie. I got these for you because I know you love these.
The sea snail.
But I've heard that the best way to eat these, you've got to take the outer casing off. It's very chewy, very rubbery. Okay, so this is for you.
Such a delicacy.
See, this is how I think of David. I'm telling you, is when it brings him such joy to eat shellfish, to eat mussels.
So I noticed you're wearing your fish scarf.
Well, I thought, you know, as long as we were going to eat fish, that I might as well wear my scarf that I bought in Spain. Sante.
Who's eaten my oysters?
It's amazing.
You girls.
We weren't even looking at what happened.
A shortcut.
The history of Normandy is about invasions, right? Being invaded or
Yes.
invading.
Long string of events.
Yes. And Americans think, of course, of Normandy for D-Day beaches.
Yes.
You didn't live through World War II, but
No,
your
of course
parents did.
Yes.
That, you know, did you discuss it? Did you?
No,
talk about it as a
the
kid?
family would never talk about it, despite the fact that they had direct exposure with the German army, because we had a big property and we had to accommodate in the family manner the German officers.
So the Germans took over your family house?
Yes, of course. Like in many other families, when you have big houses, they would just put their troops in the farm, and you would have to accommodate officers. And the younger generation do not really understand. It's not a matter of remembrance. I think they simply do not realize what happened at this time. You know, it was a terrible thing for those Americans who came here. They had no idea what they would find in front of them, and many of them died here. And of course, the French people appreciate what took place there, and thanks the Americans for what they've done. Today, I would say people are starting to talk about it a bit more. So we attended this year the 75th anniversary at St. Mère-l'Église with Lisa, and there was quite a lot of people there. Many people from all over Europe, and Americans, of course. And it was a very emotional moment. And here we come. This is the light at the end of the tunnel. Look at the church.
This is the Church of St. Catherine. The wooden construction looks like an upside-down ship with a belfry across the street. It's a great place to stop for a café au lait and to people watch. But I've heard about a special little place, owned by a member of a multi-generational family of Calvados experts, with a selection of young and very old bottles.
Bonjour, Marianne.
Bonjour, Leslie.
I think I'm much too tall for these old buildings. Ça va?
Très bien, merci.
Look at these bottles, 1939.
Yes, it's one of the oldest, and you can see my collection.
1948, 1929, 1898.
1865.
That's the oldest bottle you
Yes,
have.
yes. The first Calvados we heard about, it's at the 16th century. You have to find your Calvados.
Right.
All
right.
good.
Each producer is a little bit different,
yes.
right?
Exactly. For example, the first is a young one. When it's young, we can call it fine. When you put fine on a bottle, it's mean more than 2 years old.
2 years being the minimum to be called Calvados.
Yes, exactly. Not too
Oh.
close. This is really appealing.
It's very appley. It's strong, it's powerful, but there's a delicacy to it. It's quite delicate, you know?
It's elegant.
It
Yes.
is.
Yes.
It's got a fruit-forward character.
I put always the last Calvados on my barrels. I like it.
I like that.
Yes.
I've never seen that. Look at that. That
To keep
keeps
it
it nice
alive,
and
to keep
moist.
it
That
alive.
keeps the barrel
Yes.
moist and keeps the wood drunk. Can I do that on
Yes.
this side?
Perfect.
That's fantastic.
This one, 30 years old, stay 30 years old in big and old barrels. So the wood don't come early into the Calvados. It's very easy to drink. This one.
Well, that's very easy to drink. That is, I would never have said that that's a
So smooth,
30-year-old.
so-
It's so balanced. That's lovely.
It's why I
That's
select,
really lovely.
Thank you very
So,
much.
santé.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
My sister remembers our next stop with great fondness, Fakehome. It was her home when she first arrived in France. It's another historic and picturesque town worth visiting. Her favorite little eatery is known for some of the freshest fish around.
Bonjour Nanu. Bonjour Leslie.
The irrepressible Madame Nunut, femme de pêcheur, began filleting mackerel at 18 years old. She married her fisherman husband of 50 years and sold whole fish from the quayside before opening a store. After his death, she converted the store to this little restaurant, using her lifetime of expertise in choosing and cooking the bounty of the sea.
Because you love making people happy,
Yes.
you focus on preparing fish simply but with the freshest fish possible.
Oui.
Right? And
Je vis pour eux.
Elle vit pour son restaurant.
Je vis ici pour
Elle se
moi.
lève et se couche restaurant.
vous connaissez la qualité?
Oui. Regardez mon corps. Ah. Que du poisson.
In stark contrast to this homey place, just blocks away is an opulent stone palace that's straight from a storybook. It's where an ancient liqueur made from 27 medicinal plants and oriental spices was originally created by Benedictine monks of the Abbey of Fakehome. Then the secret recipe was passed to the Legrand family.
So here you can find a summary of the story of Benedictine on this stained glass window. In the center, you can find Alexandre le Grand, the founder of Benedictine. He's shown the Benedictine bottle to the renowned angel. This is the symbol of the publicity with the trumpet to export Benedictine all over the world.
This museum reflects the history of Benedictine, how it's made, and how it's been fraudulently duplicated over the last century.
The only one, which is the true one, is this one. And we still have the oldest Benedictine bottle you can see in the glass there. It dates back 1876, and you can find the original liqueur inside.
I got to touch, see, and smell the multiple steps to making this magical elixir.
So this is the only one place where Benedictine is still made nowadays. This is the only one
place
distillery
in the world.
In the world, yes, for the real Benedictine. We have the 8 main steps of the making of the liqueur. First, the 4 alcoholates. This is the original color. This is the original alcoholate. Do you guess which ingredient give this color to the alcoholates? One of the first.
Black tea.
Yes, black
I
tea.
win.
And from the distillation, you obtain a very pure, transparent alcoholates. When we make all the alcoholates, we have to mix all together. We have very large cellars for the aging. After aging, after the 8 months, with the saffron infusion and the final Benedictine with the shiny color.
Is that the honey? It has been added then?
Yeah. If you compare the color, after the filtration, we obtain this shiny color.
Clarity. There's clarity in that one.
Yes.
Not cloudiness. It is a balance of sweet. It's a balance of herbal notes, a kiss of spice, and I want to drink it.
We could drink together upstairs. We have 3 different kinds of Benedictine. The first one, the original Benedictine with the red seal and the white label. This is the original Benedictine from the 19th century.
It coats your mouth, but it's not heavy.
No.
And you get a long, slightly alcoholic finish. The lingering aromatic quality is intense.
So this is B&B.
The famous B&B,
The famous B&B. It was created in 1937, especially for the American market. 60% of Benedictine and 40% of brandy.
Stronger, richer, definitely more alcohol kick, obviously, but you still get that honeyed, sumptuous, succulent character. Oh, santé.
Santé.
After all of this drinking, exploring, and eating, a regular ritual here, Lisa and David threw me a bon voyage party.
Cheers.
I mean, this is the Norman way of life, sharing the 4 C's and so much more with family and friends.
Normandy is a special place. The rustic richness of its cuisine and its history is balanced by the countryside's scenic and ethereal beauty. It's this intense color palette of blue water and white cliffs and red apples and green fields. It just leaves a lasting impression. Now, I've been lucky enough to be coming here for decades, and I feel like a warm blanket envelops me every time I come. Now, part of that obviously is my sister and my family, but the other part is pure Normandy. A visit here is something you'll never forget. Santé.
100 Days Drinks, Dishes, and Destinations is brought to you by...
With AMA waterways, guests can climb, pedal, and journey beyond the beaten path while cruising on storied rivers across Europe. You can find out more at amawaterways.com.
When I picture my dad, Josh, I remember his hands. Strong, they were worn, stained. That was years of hard working as a lumberjack. His commitment, work ethic, values, that's what really inspired me to create Josh Cellars.
Otherworldly and down to earth. Visit Napa Valley.
For more information on all episodes, along with our expanded digital series, including behind-the-scenes footage and stories, and links to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, go to 100daysdrinksdishesdestinations.com.
There were never such devoted sisters. Never had to have a chaperone, no sir.
De cloche.
De cloche. My mouth is stuck. Okay, Ashley. Don't eat an unripe pear.
Oh my gosh.
It's really good for your shoulder, actually. I thought it was hair. I thought it was a wig, maybe.